All right. We're talking about how to get more ears on your podcast today, podcast promotions, one of my favorite topics in podcasting. I know it's where most people cringe because they're like, I just want to work on the podcast. I just want to record and get it out there and then start connecting with the people that I want to, make these connections with to be redundant. And so doing the promotions part can be hard. It can be an afterthought, but I want to give you some tips that'll make it easier, whether you're beginning your podcast or whether you need to refresh how you're doing your podcast promotions. Some of these will seem familiar and some of them you'll be like, yeah, I haven't done that. Or let me rethink about that. So let's just get into it. Let's get into it because I want to do these vertical lives on YouTube and going over to LinkedIn. Say hi. If you're watching, please leave a message below and to let me know that you have watched. Sorry, I was just checking to make sure that we are live. We are live. Let me check one more time. Yes, I am live. Okay, just got the notification via email. Excellent. Okay, so let's do this. 3 things. Number 1 is your podcast name. Now, I fought this at the beginning. I'll tell you fully honestly, in 2017, when I started my first podcast, the first few names of my original podcast were fun, creative. They were word blends, and I was doing all kinds of really fun stuff. And I was confused why people weren't finding me. And so now, as you can tell by the name of this podcast YouTube channel project, uh, Sane and Simple Podcasting, I've gone with more of the hit you over the head keyword approach. I want to make sure that people find the stuff that I'm producing. I still have one of my oldest podcasts. It's called Geopats. That is a blend of a name of expats in geography or geolocal, but something else. But it is a blend. But then after it, I do put the word expat. You don't want to keyword stuff because that gets penalized on different platforms, meaning you don't want to have like an entire sentence. But if you have a word or two that is a keyword and you can put that after your title, if you do have a blendy creative title, there's no problem with that. You want to be found. The thing with your podcast name, your episode titles, and all of these things, all of this text that goes with your audio is you want to make sure when people are searching with the words they're using to search, they find what you're producing. So you want to use words that people are using to tell them more, to teach them more, to whatever your podcast goal is about that topic. So you have to use the words that people are using. And there are different ways to do that. Comment below if you want some tips on how to do that. I'd be happy to go through that on a workflow day, which is Mondays. So I'm doing different things each day of the week in these vertical lives. I want to add these to the YouTube shorts that are on here as a slightly longer version of these tips. Okay, number two is to share the info in your episodes. I know you share your episodes. I can see you on social media. I know you put clips or quotes or something, and I know you put your link, but I want you to take a look at your social media posts. Are you sharing just the hey, new episode with the logo or the art, the beautiful artwork or something? Or are you sharing the takeaways? Now, if you're putting a video, don't just put a short clip. Actually put in the text what the clip is about. What happens when you do that is that if people are reading your social media post or if they're watching the short video that you have, either way, they will get the information. They'll be intrigued by it, and they'll probably turn into a listener much better than if they were one or the other. Someone who likes to watch a video or someone who likes to read text. So if you have text in your social media post that basically says like the main point that's in the video that you're posting, you're going to double your chances that people will follow your podcast and start to listen to it. I know it seems redundant. It's a lot more work, but you want to find people, right? I can see you nodding. I can see you nodding. And I want you to find them too. So remember, when you do your social media posts, make sure that there's value. Make sure that you make it explicit in the text and in the picture or video. Make sure they have the same information in different forms. So people that are drawn to different kinds of ways of communicating will become listeners of yours. This is also a good time to talk about transcripts, but I'm not going to. If you want me to talk more about how transcripts can help you find people, leave a comment below. I can do a video on that. Also on a workflow day. Number 3, almost at the end here, please remember, if you like these types of videos or anything that we have on the Sane and Simple podcasting channel, please subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything, and check out the different playlists. I've got them broken out in the same ways that I'm doing different things each day of the week in these lives. Number 3, make sure that your podcast is in all directories. I know we say it's available on Apple and Spotify, maybe Amazon Music, so on and so forth. And now probably YouTube. You might say that if you've got your RSS feed going over there, or if you have a video podcast. But there's so many more directories on that. And I'm going than that. There's so many more directories than that. You only have to add your RSS feed for your audio podcast to these directories once when you first share them with that platform. And James over at Podnews has an amazing list of all the platforms you can list your directory. I'm going to put it down in the comment section for you. Take the time and do it, and get your podcast in as many places as possible. A tip I like to use is to do with each episode, when you first start your podcast, or when you start to check your distribution, with each episode that you do, go to your distribution tracker and do and submit your podcast to one place. So each episode, you're expanding your reach on where people can find you when they look for the keywords that you're putting in your podcast name, your podcast episodes, and your descriptions. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Again, ways to get more eyes on your podcast. Number 1, make sure your podcast name is using words that people use when they search to find things like yours. 2, share your information, not just the link to your episodes, in different forms: audio, video, picture, text. Don't forget your text. Number 3, make sure you're in every single directory possible. If you like this or any of the tips that we're giving on this channel, please subscribe and like this video. I'll be back tomorrow with more tips. I'm doing these Monday through Friday for a while until I get into a rhythm, and then I'll probably pick a couple of days to do them and just do the regular content the rest of the time. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.